because the government
Come
does have a
on.
responsibility to protect.
There it
I'm sorry.
is.
The government does have a responsibility in certain instances to
What's
protect
the
children.
leading cause of death amongst children in this country? And I'm going to give you a hint. It's not drag show readings to children.
Correct, yes.
So what is it?
Hey, thank you for watching Power to the Pie, where we are committed to an intellectual integrity and a moral honesty. I'm your host, Superior, and once again, thank you for watching. Now, in this video, we have Mr. Jon Stewart. Now, I'm not too 100% familiar with Jon Stewart. I've probably seen, clips of him here and there. He's a, funny-ish comedian. He's not no, Chris Rock or, Dave Chappelle, but, I've cracked a few LOLs back in the day. But I love the approach that he is going, because to me, it just shows an example of someone using their platform and actually trying to make a political change. They're not just tweeting something. They're not just, once every 10 years, kissing the butt of some Democrat or some Republican. Like, he's made this his career. And is it profitable? Probably not. I'm pretty sure he could have made more money just kind of playing it safe, making jokes, and that's it. So I definitely applaud Mr. Jon Stewart for, converting his platform into speaking to his beliefs and what he feels needs to be changed. But in this video, he's interviewing Oklahoma State Senate Nathan Daham. What? Okay, it doesn't matter his last name. Let's go ahead and watch this video and see Jon motherfucking Stewart destroy this guy every step of the way. Let's go.
Proponent of the Second Amendment. I believe the right to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. That's the one right that's listed in the Constitution that uses that very specific affirmative language, shall not be infringed.
Oh, it's also the one right that uses the phrase well-regulated.
Correct, when it's talking about the militia and the state.
By the way, just for clarity's sake,
Yeah.
I'm not against the Second Amendment. I don't want to ban guns. But
Yeah.
you're saying more guns makes us more safe.
Yes.
So,
Okay, so I'm sorry I got to pause it, because once, this is my show and I'm going to do as I will. Okay, it's my show. I'm going to pause it, interject my opinions, because that's what this channel is for. So I still can't wrap my head around the solution to gun violence, extreme gun violence. Okay, the worst is to inject more guns to stop the gun violence. We need more guns to stop. Okay, I still can't understand that, but maybe I might get some clarity in this video. So I'm gonna listen with both ears. Okay, let's take a listen.
when we got 400 million guns in the country, we had an increase and gun deaths went up. So when exactly does this curve hit that takes it down? Would 1 billion guns do it?
Let's just run those numbers, 400 million, 50,000. You're talking about less than a fraction of, not even a percent, of 100th of a percent.
But it goes up, not down. So your
That's
argument
true.
is backwards.
But if you want, okay, so let's come up with a solution. Okay, so one of the issues, a contributing factor.
I wish Jon Stewart would be like, hey, don't ask me to come up with solutions. You supposed to already have solutions to this problem. So I don't like, he was like, okay, let's come up with a solution. Like, bro, you're the Senate. You have a seat. You have a piece of power. You tell me the solution. Okay, but okay, I digress. Okay.
I believe it's the individual that is the problem.
So your solution to that is give them more guns.
So I'm saying that.
Okay. I wish you would have laughed with him. Okay, like, I understand, he has his talking points. He's probably getting paid from somebody to defend this position. But he should at least crack the smile. Like, okay, you got me on that one. And then proceeded, because that would have been funny.
Because people are the problem, we need to look at the problems that those people are facing and how do we address it. For
But
instance,
you've removed the ability for the state to do that.
No, because you're.
If you don't have background checks and you don't have registration and permitting, how do you know who has a problem in terms of the people who you're giving a gun to?
Do you want to talk about the background checks first, or do you want to talk about solutions first?
I want to talk about what you're doing is you're bringing chaos to order.
That's your subjective opinion, that it's bringing chaos to order.
It's not my subjective opinion. We have 50,000 gun-related deaths. That's not a subjective opinion.
Okay, so
that's dead people.
That's numbers.
Let me back up for a second.
Republicans
in every
love
other
numbers.
place in your life, you want to bring order, but guns are the outlier for you. So let's start with immigration. You want registration, maybe a wall, maybe not a wall. Why do you want that?
Well, one of the reasons is because the fentanyl crisis.
Right.
I mean, okay, but...
You don't know when it's coming across. So what do you do?
But the fentanyl crisis is twice what the gun death crisis is.
Okay, so until the gun crisis gets
No.
to the fentanyl...
Okay, so maybe I don't understand his phrasing, but what Jon Stewart, what I believe he was trying to say is, okay, we have a immigration problem. Old boy said, agreed. We don't know what's coming over. I wish he would have said, okay, so we have an immigration problem. They're bringing drugs, whatever the case is. Let's let more immigrants come over to combat the bad immigrants that are coming over. And maybe somehow, some way that'll solve the immigration problem. I mean, even me saying that sounds stupid as hell. So it's like, why would someone think more guns, less regulations, to get people access to more guns is going to stop a continuous increase of gun violence? Bro, man, that's hurt my head.
Not until
You don't want to bring order.
No, not until it. But
do you see my point?
If we're going to talk about protecting lives, that's a larger issue in America than guns is. If we're talking about individual lives of ways that they can be protected, loss of life in America, there's loss of life through fentanyl. There's loss of life through obesity. The obesity crisis in America costs 6 times the number of lives as guns.
Right,
and
and
so,
you're the guy saying, you know what would help this? Ice cream.
no.
Why can't we chew and walk gum at the same time? That would be my simple answer. Obesity, yes. Immigration, yes. Drugs, yes. Gun violence, I don't care if it's 5th, 6th, 10th down the list. We are supposedly the richest, the wealthiest country in the world, okay? We are supposedly the more advanced country in the world, okay? Why can't we solve more than one thing at a time? Obesity should have been handled. By the time we get down to gun control, it's gonna be no gun control. It's gonna be out of control. It's gonna be too late, as they would say, to put the cat back in the bag. I mean, it already is. So let's just wait another 20, 30 years until we solve obesity, immigration, and a whole list of things before we get to gun control. It's gonna be too late. You know what I'm saying? So come on, let's be big boys. Put on your big boy pants, and let's handle some business. All right, like that's simple.
So
that's
you know what would help the problem that we're facing with firearms?
What?
The fatherlessness crisis that we have in America. If you look at the statistics.
Right.
Okay. I'm sorry for pausing the video so much. The talking points on this guy is pimp type. He was like, okay, that's not working. Fatherless homes, that's the problem. He went from the opioids, he went from immigration, and none of it's working. Fatherless homes, that's the problem. When people usually say these fatherless homes, is usually kind of, directed at, black and brown communities, but let's just hear him out. Maybe he'll make some sense with this.
Yeah, they're dying from gun deaths.
80% of school shooters either came from a broken or fatherless home.
So you would say no guns for fatherless homes?
No, that's not what I would say. I would say that fathers need to be more engaged.
Great. So let's
crime with a
put
firearm if they don't have a father in the
Let's put more
home.
resources into areas that are poverty-stricken.
Oh.
All for it.
And into fatherlessness, and that's something that we're doing
But
in Oklahoma.
why with guns are you against bringing order?
I'm not against bringing order.
You are. You're also making it less safe for cops and for people. When the police go to a domestic call, it's the most dangerous call they can go on. In your world, if they knew that there were firearms in the house, that's a safer call. Is that what you're saying?
No, because police.
Because why?
Because police treat every situation as a potential.
But more guns makes us safer. So why don't, when the police go to a house filled with guns, why don't they breathe a sigh of relief knowing that this Second Amendment that shall not be infringed is being exercised so fruitfully in this home?
Are you familiar with the 39-year-old woman in New Jersey?
I'm familiar with a ton of anecdotes.
Yeah.
I'm
No, this is
asking
not-
you a
this is-
simple
this
question.
is not an anecdote,
When
John.
the police
This actually happened.
go
Listen
to a
to
She
me.
had a
house,
restraining order on her
Exact
ex-boyfriend.
anecdote.
I
of an
can run
individual.
through
I know, we can both run through
hundreds and
that.
hundreds of examples of women killed by their domestic partners by guns that were not taken away through the lessening of red flag laws. You're pivoting
But the
to
knives-
anecdotes.
No, this is not anecdotes.
What the police say, if we had gun registration, if we were able to track purchases, if they have a technology that every bullet would be stamped with an individual like a fingerprint, if we had an ATF that wasn't defunded, we would be able to enforce gun laws more effectively, and we would be able to solve gun crimes more effectively. You're against all of that.
Because the person is the threat, not the,
person
firearm, not
is
the knife.
I get it.
The person and the individual is the one that is.
I get it. The person is the threat. The gun just on its own is just gonna sit there and do nothing. You can put a gun and it'd be 20 babies sleeping, and the gun is not gonna just get up and kill people. I understand that, but we're calling for regulations for people who are not responsible with the guns to not purchase a gun. Like, why do I need to feel like I need to sound so intelligent while saying that? Like, it's such a common sense thing. The gun is not killing people. It's the people using the guns killing people. So let's try our hardest to because we're not going to prevent everything, because there's too many, I mean, we're not as gangster as some other countries when it comes to strict gun control, but can we at least try to make an attempt, like a real honest push for gun control? Maybe that might make a difference. Let me pull this up here. Now, this is in Switzerland. I'm just going to rattle through this list real quick, and this is what they implement, and it's probably some more heavier laws that they have, but this seems pretty basic type of information, but for some reason America doesn't want to implement stuff like this. Background checks. This idiot right here wants to get rid of background checks. Your ass backwards on this situation. Send written requests to authorities. So authorities, if they have to go to a domestic call, they at least have some information. Okay, this dude is registered. He sent this in a couple months ago. Now we're a little bit more mentally prepared to handle this situation. I don't know. It's a simple example. 2-week waiting period. When I bought my firearm, I just had to wait 2 hours. Damn, that's too quick. Strict open carry. Justification for ownership. Keep ammo separately. Have clean record. If you jaywalking over there in Switzerland, you ain't owning no gun. They say if you can't abide by simple rules, why should we trust you with the firearm? Is that so difficult to understand? Oh man, you guys are killing me. Gun education, proper training, respect guns, unloaded when not in use. I mean, it's just some basic, simple stuff that I'm sure responsible gun owners would agree with. It's just the idiots are the ones that just want to fight with that.
The concern
Right,
here.
but you don't want anything that could help law enforcement or society determine whether or not a person is a good guy with a gun or a bad guy with a gun.
Because they don't like the
Most
police.
even law
Registry
enforcement-
would allow you to have much more effective background checks. So I don't understand why you won't just admit that you are making it harder for police to manage the streets by allowing all of these guns to go out without permits, without checks, and without background stuff. Why is that hard? Why can't you just stand by that?
Because he's okay. I'm pretty sure Jon Stewart already knows this. because he's getting paid to not say that. He's not getting paid to state the obvious. He's being paid to uphold money. That's all that it is. If we created a law in a way to where these senators and these people who are in these positions of power who create these laws and can take them away, if we prevented them from getting money from these big businesses, I guarantee it. I guarantee that'll solve 90% of our basic problems. Take money out of government, and these idiots don't have a benefit to be an idiot. He's getting paid to be the biggest idiot ever. And he knows he knows going to Jon Stewart's show, he's going to be made an idiot. We're all going to see him as the idiot, but he doesn't care because at the end of the day, he's getting that check. He's getting that bag, and it has to be enough. I hope he's getting paid enough for me to make fun of him. The whole world's making fun of him. I hope I hope that check was
That's
good.
not what I'm doing. I'm defending the individual's right to keep and bear arms.
That's a different argument.
Okay, but
you
we
may
could
do.
try-
Here's what I'm saying. You want to say I'm a Second Amendment purist and I'm making it safer. You're not. You're making it more chaotic, and that's not a matter of opinion. That's the truth.
That is a matter of opinion, John.
But why take away their tools?
Because certain of their tools that they're using would be infringements upon the people's right to keep and bear arms, upon their constitutional rights, upon due
So you're
process,
saying
upon other things.
that registering is an infringement.
Yes,
Damn.
Is voting a right?
it's a right for citizens, yes.
Do you have to do anything to do it?
Yes,
What do you have to do?
it depends on the state.
What do you have to do?
Sometimes you have to be at least 18 years old.
What do you have to do?
What do you
And
have to
in
do?
some places
Come
you
on.
have to have a government-issued ID.
What do you have to? You have to
You have to be on the voter rolls.
register.
There it is.
Register. So you have to register to a right. Is that an infringement?
Does the right to voting say shall not be infringed?
Oh, so this is just a semantic argument.
There it is.
You believe voting rights can be infringed because it doesn't say specifically
Is it an-
shall not be infringed.
Is it an
Hey,
infringement upon a
Jon Stewart, do not give these Republicans any ideas. I guarantee you Ben Shabibo is going to see this and be like, you know what? The Constitution doesn't say you can't revenge on my voting rights, so maybe we can take away the rights of black and brown people because it's not a constitutional protection. It doesn't say we can't infringe. Like, damn it, Jon Stewart, don't give these opportunists an opportunity to opportune, okay? Come on.
17-year-old's right to vote, since they don't have that right to vote.
No.
Oh, it's not an infringement on them?
No, absolutely not.
Why not?
Because you're the one making the argument, not me. I'm saying even rights have responsibilities, and that within those responsibilities,
Responsibilities, yes.
and order, otherwise it's chaotic. I'll go you one further. You want to ban drag show readings to children.
Uh-oh.
Why?
Yes.
Why?
Why?
What are you protecting?
Why can
Why?
we prohibit children from voting, those under 18 from voting?
Why are you
but
banning?
Also that
Is
Answer
that
the
free
question.
speech? Are you infringing on that performer's free speech?
they can continue to exercise their free speech, just not in front of a child.
Why?
Because the government
Come
does have
on.
a responsibility to protect.
There it
I'm sorry?
is.
The government does have a responsibility in certain instances to
What's
protect
the
children.
leading cause of death amongst children in this country? And I'm going to give you a hint. It's not drag show readings to children.
Correct. Yes.
So what is it?
I'm presuming you're going to say it's firearms.
No, I'm not going to say it like it's an opinion.
Damn.
That's what it is. It's firearms.
Bars.
More than cancer, more than car accidents. And what you're telling me is you don't mind infringing free speech
here it is.
to protect children from this amorphous thing that you think of.
Get
but
'em,
when
John.
it comes to children that have died, you don't give a flying fuck to stop that because that shall not be infringed.
Ooh.
That is hypocrisy at its highest order.
Man, whoa. That was what you call a smack down. There was no why do Republicans and Democrats, okay, why do people continue to elect these incompetent idiots in these positions? He couldn't even properly defend his reasoning on relaxing gun control in the midst of gun problems in America. He couldn't even defend it. You don't have to try anymore to sit there. This has to be the easiest job that these people do. They don't have to do no homework. They don't have to do no educating. They don't have to do no serious conversations with people. All they have to do is say, look at their cue card and be like, fatherless homes. Yeah, that's the reason. Oh no, immigration is the reason why gun should be easier accessed. No, the opioid problem is why everybody should have. God, man, it makes it easy for people like me to make content of this, but in the back of my head, it's sad because this is the country I live in, and it's just a bunch of idiots running everything. Like, it's sad. You know what I'm saying? Because if it feels like I'm more educated and more, responsible when it comes to this kind of thinking than half of our elected, government officials, that's a problem. Do you see? Maybe I'm the crazy one. Maybe once again, I'm just looking through this because, I'm a victim, or maybe because, I'm a black, and maybe I just don't understand. I can't comprehend this. So let's have this conversation. If I am wrong, you know what to do. Let me know down in the comments, and let's have this conversation.
Thank you for listening, and don't forget to join the conversation by subscribing. Make sure to tune in next time, and like always, power to you, power to me, power to the people, power to the pod.